Bye. वैष्णव बिंदु की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत श्री शिल गौरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत श्री शिल भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत श्री शिल वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री नवद्वीप वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गंगा माई जमुना माई तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री नृसिंह बरादेव की जय। भक्त कुंवर श्री श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बिंदु की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hari Bol.
Do one round of chanting with Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hey,
Hare
can
Hare
you give my earphones on my
Hare
pod?
Krishna Krishna Krishna
You
Hare
open
Hare
YouTube.
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
এটা বলেছি বুঝলে লাস্ট মিশনে আবার দেখতে পারবে না এটা তাই আবার নতুন হবে বুঝতে ছেলেটা তো অলরেডি জিবিসে কইয়া দিছে তুমি হইবা তোমার বয় শ্যাম কুমার কইতাছে জিবিসের মন মতো লোক পাই যাচ্ছে শ্যাম কুমার আসতে করবো কালকে বেশি ধরে উনি এসেছিলেন উনি হলো পিওর প্রভু ডিভোটি রাজকি শ্যামচরণ প্রভু শ্যামচরণ না শ্যাম কুমার এরা কিন্তু রিয়েল ভক্তি করতে আছে
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण
कृष्णा कृष्णा
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे राम
हरे राम
हरे राम
Hare Ram.
राम राम
राम राम
हरे हरे।
ভক্তি করছে
Thank you all for coming to this program. Before I start, I would like to wish all of you a wonderful Krishna conscious Happy New Year.
हैप्पी न्यू
And also see welcome back faces. Thank you for Kavita Mataji and Prabhuji and wonderful kids for coming back. After a long time I'm seeing them. Thank you. I would like to hear our Kirtan very soon. So also, as you all know from the flyer that we have our special guest today here from Bhakti Center. Have you heard Bhakti Center? Okay. So, and most of us have already seen this Prabhu before. He had come here a couple of times. So on our demand and special request, he has come here. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for honoring our request. So his name is Gaura Sharan Prabhu. He is a disciple of Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He received his computer science engineering degree and worked as a software engineer at Infosys and as a data mining specialist at Bank of America. So he took to monkhood in the year 2007 and has been serving in various projects like ISKCON Chowpadi Govardhan Eco Village. He has been serving at Bhakti Center since 2016. He has been serving at various centers, but today, sorry, I can't read. So he's involved in Western and Indian outreach. He's a chaplain at New York University and also runs a Bhakti Yoga Students Club at New York University. So let's all welcome on behalf of Bensalem Bhakti Vriksha, 3 times loudly Hari Bol. Thank you again, Prabhu. And so we'll be continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 1.3.30. Okay, so please open up your mobiles, 1.3.30. Okay, and Saturday's school, as usual, will start now. All the kids, they can go under 13 years age. And parents better be here not to get involved there. So it's easier for Kitida to manage. And at the end, we'll have kids' sloka recitation and then prasada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, thank you everyone. Grateful to Madhuranga Prabhu and all of you for having me again. Hare Krishna. We'll do a little Jayana Madhu and then start. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana
Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajanaranjana
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita
Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Premanande
Hari Bol
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse 30. So if you all have pulled it out, so then I'll recite one line, you can repeat behind me. Etadrupam Bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Hyarupasya Chidatmanaha
Yerupasya Chidatmanaha
Hyarupasya Chidatmanaha
Yerupasya Chidatmanaha
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Mahadadi Viratmani
Mahadadi Vinatmani
Mahadadi Viratmani
Mahadadi Vinatmani
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Yarupasya Chidatmanaha
Yerupasya Chidatmanaha
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Mahadadi Viratmani.
Mahadadi Vinatmani
Would anyone like to repeat?
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Yarupasya Chidatmanaha
Yarupasya Chidatmanaha
Maya Gunai Virachitam
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Mahadi Viratmani
Mahadadi Viratmani.
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato
Nirupasya Chidatmanam
Yarupasya Chidatmanaha
Maya Gune Virachitam
Maya Gunair Virachitam
Mahadadi Viratmani
Mahadadi Viratmani.
एतद्रूपं भगवतो
Etadrupam Bhagavato
रूपस्य चिदात्मना
Yarupasya Chidatmanaha
मायागुणैर्विरचितं
Maya Gunair Virachitam
महादधिविरात्मनि
Mahadadi Viratmani. Anybody else? Sino? Okay. Please. Etadrupam Bhagavato हि अरूपस्य चिदात्मनः माया गुणैर्विरचितं महदादिविरात्मनि एतद्रूपं भगवतो रूपस्य चिदात्मनः माया गुणैर्विरचितं
महदादि विरात्मनि.
Synonyms: etad, all these, rupam, forms, bhagavataha, of the Lord, he, certainly, arupasya, of one who has no material form, chidatmanaha, of the transcendence, maya, material energy, gunaihi, by the qualities, virachitam, manufactured, mahat adibihi, with the ingredients of matter, atmani, in the self. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the conception of the Virata, universal form of the Lord, as appearing in the material world is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophytes to adjust to the idea of the Lord's having form. But factually, the Lord has no material form. Purport: the conception of the Lord known as the Vishwarupa or the Virat Rupa is particularly not mentioned along with the various incarnations of the Lord, because all the incarnations of the Lord mentioned above are transcendental and there is not a tinge of materialism in their bodies. There is no difference between the body and self as there is in the conditioned soul. The Virat Rupa is conceived for those who are just neophyte worshippers. For them, the material Virat Rupa is presented and it will be explained in the second canto. In the Virat Rupa, the material manifestation of different planets have been conceived as his legs, hands, etc. Actually, all such descriptions are for the neophytes. The neophytes cannot conceive of anything beyond matter. The material conception of the Lord is not counted in the list of his factual forms. As Paramatma or Supersoul, the Lord is within each and every material form, even within the atoms, but the outward material form is but an imagination, both for the Lord and for the living being. The present forms of the conditioned souls are also not factual. The conclusion is that the material conception of the body of the Lord as Virat is imaginary. Both the Lord and the living beings are living spirits and have original spiritual bodies. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate girim. Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Krishna, bring the blessings of all the devotees before I attempt to speak. For the pleasure of Shri Shri, Radha Mulidhar, Shri Gaura Chandra, Shri Prabhupada, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. So, reading the verse again, Etad Rupam Bhagavato Hi Arupasya Chidatmanaha Maya Gunair Virachitam Mahadadiviratmani. Translation: the conception of the Virat, universal form of the Lord, as appearing in the material world is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophytes to adjust to the idea of the Lord's having form. But factually, the Lord has no material form. So, if you have been following the series of verses that they are discussing here on Saturday evenings, so they just completed a very important section of the verses, like where Suta Goswami explained, like what is it, what are the questions of the Shaunakadi Rishis. So, what is the question that was just answered before this verse? There was a whole section that Suta Goswami answered for a question. So, you all remember the 6 questions that the Shaunakadi Rishis asked. So, what are they? Yeah, what are the 6 questions that they asked? What is the ultimate benefit of the whole world for everybody? So, what is that? Devotional service. So, then what is the other question? What is the essence of all scriptures? So, what is that? Essence of all scriptures is sadhana bhakti. Bhakti is like the process of devotional service is the essence of all scriptures. What is the third question? Why did the Lord appear in the womb of Devaki and Kana Devaki and appeared as Lord Krishna? And what are the other question? Okay, where will Dharma reside after Krishna disappears? And there are 2 more questions.
Different incarnations.
Yeah, different incarnations. Anything else are we missing?
What are his activities?
Okay. So that's what we saw before, that Suta Goswami explained all the different Leela avatars of the Lord, the various incarnations that Krishna takes. So if you remember the 3rd chapter, it began with a list of incarnations, right? You discussed a lot of incarnations of the Lord, and it finally ended with Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. So how does it start? Ete Chamsha Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vridayanti Yuge Yuge. So this is how he ended that list. He said all these incarnations we discussed so far are all various parts or plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So now that whole thing kind of had a logical conclusion. Now Suta Goswami is saying about Virat Rupa. He's like out of nowhere, he's just discussing Virat Rupa. So the understanding behind that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives for this is like, why Virat Rupa is not considered? Because many people consider Virat Rupa is also a form of the Lord. So many incarnations are counted. Why Virat Rupa is not counted? So somebody can have an idea, like question in their mind. So that is why Suta Goswami is answering that he is counting it separate from the incarnations. So Srila Prabhupada also answers that in the purport. Why Virat Rupa is not counted in the list of incarnations?
Because it's material.
Because it is material. And all the other incarnations of the Lord, they are all transcendental. So there is no difference between their body and the spirit. Like how we all have a difference between the body and the soul, there is no difference. Currently, because we are the soul is engaged in a material body, so there is difference between our body and the soul. However, for the Supreme Lord, there is only the spiritual self, Ishvara, Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. So he is Sachidananda Rupa. The soul is also Sachidananda, but currently it's in the material body. But for Krishna, there is no difference between his body and the soul. So he is Sachidananda Rupa. So whatever incarnations we discussed so far, they are all Sachidananda Rupa. Maybe the Lord is taking the form of a boar in Varaha, or he is taking the form of a tortoise in Kurma. However, the forms are all transcendental. So that is why they are all discussed separately. And now Virat Rupa is being described separately. So what is this Virat Rupa? We have so many problems in life. Virat Rupa seems to be like a distant thing. Like, what is Virat Rupa? Why are we discussing about that? Any answers? Who knows? Who knows what is a Virat Rupa? You can raise your hands. No, raise your hands if you know what is a Virat Rupa. Okay, accept them, others are going to answer. You are not answering. So, बाकी लोग बोलिए, what is Virat Rupa? What is your understanding of Virat Rupa? अगर मैं आधा घंटा बोलने वाला हूँ तो हम दोनों एक पेज में नहीं हैं तो फिर मैं बोल के फायदा नहीं है. So like what is that? What are we trying to discuss? Like why is this an issue? What is Virat Rupa?
So, Virat Rupa as per me is a material form which represent the whole universe. Like it is a form like us, where God's legs, arms, everything is represented by some material elements like his eyes.
The mountains are considered as the knees of the universal form. Perfect. Thank you, bro. Anybody else? You all agree with Prabhuji? Anybody disagrees? Mataji disagrees. अभी तो होना ही था. No, I'm just joking. What were you saying, Mataji?
Her husband says, Mataji.
Yes. Yeah. So Mataji is just adding details to Prabhu. They are both in sync. Like how the whole universe, like we have 14 planetary systems. So it is all kind of imagined in the like this particular planet is the belly of the Lord. This is the head of the Lord. Yes, perfectly. So anything else? So this is one kind of meditation we do as universal form. But what is that Krishna shows to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita? What is that? Is that also universal form? Is there any difference? Have you read the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Do you see any planetary systems described there?
Yes.
But also many other things are also described there. So what is the difference between this we read like that universal form is like different planets, different things in the material manifestation, and what is the difference between the universal form that is shown to Arjuna and what we read in Canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatham and in other places? क्या फर्क है? गलती के प्रभु को बुला के इतना क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं. हाँ? Yeah, please.
So when Krishna showed the Vishwarupa to Arjuna, he's trying to convey that everything comes from me, everything is within me. So like the way he explains.
Okay.
And like Arjuna starts seeing, oh my God, everything is in Krishna. And whereas Virat Rupa is like, you're describing how the entire universes are in Krishna. So
It's
like detailed there.
Yes.
This is more like a broader.
Thank you. It's closer to the thing that is when we are meditating, it is our meditation. We have to like superimpose the mountains are the knees of the Lord. There is no form like that existing. So we are superimposing. It is for us to meditate. If you continue to do every week verses, you will get to Canto 2. There Shukdev Goswami will explain in detail about what does a yogi with material desires, what does he meditate on? So in the Canto 2, chapter 1 and 2, he will be describing all that. A yogi who has more desires to enjoy this world, what does he meditate? He meditates on the universal form, because I am seeing everything in the world as an object of enjoyment. But change the vision into, trees, they are all the hairs of the Supreme Lord. Mountains, they are anything I am trying to enjoy is coming from the Lord and belonging to the Lord. So that realization will gradually come when we have to meditate on the universal form. So that is the meditation that we do, we superimpose. But when Krishna showed to Arjuna, it is called as revelation. He showed a real revelation of, in 10th chapter you said among mountains I am Himalayas, I am among sound I am the Om. He told like so many best things, like 84 or some, among the best I am the best. So he showed all that. So now Arjuna may be wondering, okay, you are claiming all this, but how do I believe you? So for that he showed that universal form as a proof. I'm just not claiming, but here is the reality. You can see everything in me, not just the best, everything. I represent the best, but even the worst is all coming from Krishna in that sense. So all kinds of material manifestation he shows. So it is a revelation. हम बैठ के जप कर रहे हैं, like in the sense this yogi is sitting and meditating the universal form. There Arjuna is having a revelation, like where we closing our eyes and thinking of Krishna and then going to the altar and seeing Krishna. So both are same, but there it is much easier because it is coming from Krishna, it is revealed. So that is the difference between the two universal forms. They are essentially one, but one is a revelation, the other one is a meditation. Why is this person meditating like that? Why this yogi is meditating like that, or any sadhaka is like have to meditate Krishna in the form of kitna sundar roop hai. Like Brahmaji is praying, Naumidyate Abrava Pushe Taditambaraya Gunjavatamsa Paripichala Mukhaya Vanyashraje Kavalavetra Vishana Venu Lakshma Shriye Mridupate Pashupangajaya. So Brahmaji, who is the creator, secondary creator of the whole material universe, he is looking at Krishna after the Brahma Vimohan Leela. He is glorifying Krishna as like that. So he is saying, Naumidyate Abrava Pushe. So I offer my obeisances. Because that form, he thought, how can this small boy be like God? मतलब कुछ count नहीं हो रहा, everything is not summing up well. If that Supreme Lord, he like, because when Brahmaji came, why did he come? Because he heard the noise that after Aghasur was killed, all the demigods were happy. Because Aghasur is so powerful that the demigods who were drinking nectar were fearing death. Like they are drinking nectar every day to be immortal, but they are so fearful that Aghasur can overcome them anytime. So when he was killed, they were all so happy and they created such a ruckus. So sometimes here in your home there is too much noise outside. There is like crackers, especially in India you can clearly hear. Like there is like crackers and suddenly there is like music and a procession is going on. Like kya chal raha hai? Like you kind of come out of your window and see like what's happening, why is this commotion? So similarly Brahmaji said kya chal raha hai? Like why are these demigods making noise? So he realized Aghasur is being killed, has been killed by Krishna. He's like, okay, who killed Aghasur? This small little boy. Because when Krishna, he came to check on Krishna, they were eating lunch. Because by that time Aghasur is killed, they were all very hungry. They all chose a place to eat. And they're all eating. And Krishna specifically was actually taking from the mouth of his friend and putting it in his mouth. And then the other friend was saying like, my mom made this buttermilk and it is so tasty and I won't give it to anyone. So he's drinking and then the boys are pressing it so that the buttermilk comes out and Krishna is catching it from the, like the other boys are pressing and Krishna is catching the buttermilk. And Brahmaji is like, what kind of Supreme Lord is that? He is taking from somebody's mouth. Yagya book means the Lord is called as Yagya book because he only eats through the purified offerings offered by best of the Brahmanas in the Yagya fire. So he is Yagya book. And here he is taking from the mouth of the boys and drinking from the mouth of the buttermilk from the mouth of the other boys. Like he is like kind of a little bit confused. Like how is this? So that's why he wanted to check. So even when the form is visible, sometimes if we have material intelligence, then we cannot understand the Lord's form. It's not very easy. His Sachidananda Rupa is visible before Brahmaji. He is seeing the threefold bending beautiful form of that small childhood form of Krishna. He is seeing and he could not realize. So he wanted to test. After testing, sabhi samajh mein aa gaya, this is the Supreme Lord. So he is chanting, Naumidyate Abrava Pushe Taditambraya. He is not describing the universal form of the Lord. After seeing all the power of Krishna, the bewildering potency of Krishna, he is glorifying that cloud-like color, like the dark cloud-like Abrava Pushe Taditambaraya, one who is wearing yellow color dhoti. Taditambaraya Gunjavatamsa Paripichala Sanmukhaya. Gunjavatamsa means he is decorated with the Gunja mala, or that is easily found in the forest. Paripicha means he is having a peacock feather. Lasan Mukhaya, his face is glowing. Paripicha Lasan Mukaya Vanyashraje. He is decorated with the whatever is available in the forest. Vanyashraje. In the forest there are leaves available. So he has some leaves on his head. There are some flowers, so he has some flower garlands made out of it. Some flowers stuck on his ears. Some flowers put on his thing. And minerals that are available in the forest. So he is dotted with that. Vanyashraje Kavala Vetra. Means when Brahmaji was testing Krishna, he had a like a ball of yogurt rice in his hand. So he is having that kavala also. Vetra, and he is having that stick to herd the cows. Kavala Vetra Vishana Venum. He is also having a flute. So this is the form of the Supreme Lord. However, for some people, it is very difficult to see the Supreme as that small boy. Like how Brahmaji had problem. Similarly, so many sadhakas, so many different kinds of practitioners, they also have problem. How can I accept that Supreme Lord as that small boy? One who is stealing the clothes of gopis, one who is stealing butter. Like the idea of my God in my head does not match with the behavior of the Supreme Lord, Krishna in his personal form. So they may feel like I want a different form with which I can identify with. So that is why Krishna is facilitating other ways also. If you read Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, so in the verse 15 Krishna says, Anye tu eva majananto, no. No. It has to start with Anya, but I'm just not getting the beginning of it. Jnana yajnena chapi anye yajanto mam upasate ekatvena pritatvena bahuda vishvato mukam. So in verse 11, he speaks about those who see Krishna in the form of like, what do you call it? Oh, he has come with a material form. Brahman, but currently assuming a material form. He says they are actually mudas. So if they see my form as material form, they are mudas. And then he says, Moga Asha Moho Karmano, all their endeavors will be spoiled. And then he speaks, how do great devotees take shelter of Krishna? He says, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Mashrita Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Gyatva Bhutadim Avayam. He says, those who actually take shelter of the internal energy, they are Mahatmas. Because they understand me as the origin of everything, they take shelter of me. And what do? Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana parivipasate satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavrata namasyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. They always worship me. How? Satatam kirtayanto mam. They chant my names, holy names. They chant my holy names. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always they chant. This is how devotees take shelter of me. He says, yeah, others are also there. Who are they? Jnana yajnena chapyanye. They worship through jnana yajna, through cultivation of knowledge. Jnana yajnena chapyanye yajanto mam upasate. They also worship me. Ekatvena, pritatvena, bahuda vishvato mukham. So he says three kinds of others. Who are they? Ekatvena. They see the spiritual oneness in everything. The soul is also Sachidananda. Krishna is also Sachidananda. They see that oneness. That I am one with God in quality. We are not speaking about people who say they are God. We are speaking about people who consider the nature of the soul as Sachidananda. And Krishna is also Sachidananda, Supreme Lord. So in quality, I am one with Lord. Ekatvena, Pritatvena. They see the Supreme in different demigods and worship the demigods. And then Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. They see Vishwato Mukham. They see the universal form as the manifestation of the Supreme. So there are three ways. But what does Krishna prefers? Patram Pushpam, Phalam Toyam, Yome Bhaktya Prayachati, Tadaham Bhakti Upahrutam, Ashnami Prayatatman. After describing all of them until verse 25, he says in 26, Itna taklif utane ki zarurat nahi hai. You don't need to go to that demigod, worship this universal form, do karma kanda sacrifice, go to heaven. He discusses all that from all the way from 16 to 25. This is what he discusses in that chapter. And then he says, don't worry, if any of these does not make sense, actually it does not make sense to me also. He says, what makes sense to me is bhakti. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Very simple. You offer a leaf or a fruit or a flower, but with devotion, when it is done, I accept it. So don't need to worry about anything, he says. So similarly here Prabhupada is saying, the conception of Vishwarupa is specifically for those who cannot understand the Supreme Lord's form as Sachidananda Rupa. because we have a problem with the eyesight. What is covering the eye? It is ignorance. Like there was one doctor, he put a board, he says, any disease charges $500. And if I cannot cure you, I'll give you, so any disease $50. If I cannot cure you, I'll give you back $500. So one Indian saw the board, he thought, okay, let me take advantage of this. So he went to the doctor, he said, I have lost taste. So cure me. इनको लगा, if whatever he gives, I'll say I have not regained my taste, then he will give me 500. So then it's an easy bargain. So he said, so the doctor gave him a thing, okay, this is a medicine, you drink it. He could not take one sip. He said, why the hell this is so bitter? He said, आपका taste वापस आ चुका है, so give me $50. He took $50 and he thought, okay, this time somehow I could not manage, next time I'll go again. So the next time he went, he said, I'm not able to hear anything. So then the doctor in the action, he said, give me your phone. So he called his wife and he said, your husband is saying you can shop whatever you want, you can buy whatever you want. He said, kisne bola? No, I did not tell her. Okay, you have regained your you have regained your sense of hearing also, so give me $50. He thought, oh, third time I somehow or other I need to cheat this person. He said, I lost my eyesight. So he took a goggles, he kept a stick, he said, I lost my eyesight. He said, okay, don't worry, I don't think I have cure for this, so I'll give you $500. So he wrote a check and he wrote $5 there. And he gave the check. He said, hey, you told $500 but you're only giving $5. He said, your eyesight has come back, so don't worry, you give me $50. So likewise, our eyes are covered with ignorance, so we are trying to see the Lord also through that vision. We think, oh, okay, I have this material body and the mind, so I think and calculate in this world accordingly. So the Supreme Lord also should be like this. If I have a tendency to cheat, then I think the Supreme Lord is also having that tendency. If I have a tendency to steal, then I think, oh, the same Supreme Lord is also stealing butter, stealing the clothes of gopis, so then he also should be like me. So we are trying to measure the Supreme Lord according to who we are. And we try to measure others also accordingly. That is why it is said, even a great devotee, when he comes to the material world, then people may try to think like that, because Srila Prabhupada was he wanted to start ISKCON in Mumbai. So he thought Bombay is one of the important cities in India, so we should have a big temple in Bombay. So he got Radha Rasbihari deities and he chose a place, and he brought them even before building the temple and promised the deities that I will have a beautiful, magnificent, big temple for you. So he promised them, I will build a home for you. And then he started working. But that particular landowner, because he had material consciousness, he thought everyone in this world is like him. So he thought, here is another sadhu, I have cheated so many people, very wealthy people, very influential people, very smart people. I have cheated them, because every time what he would do, he would sell the land to a particular person and he'll create a condition in the deed in such a way that condition will not be fulfilled. So that particular sale will be nullified, and all the advance that they gave, he would retain it. So it's a good business, right? The same plot of land, you again sell to different people, take some amount of advance, but never have to give back that advance. So the land belongs to you, but you keep earning on it again. So he thought Prabhupada is also one such person. He's an old man with a bunch of American disciples who does not understand how India is working. So he thought very easy. Old व्यक्ति को तो easily I can just cheat this person, because I have cheated so many in the past. So he had a material calculation. He did not understand Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. So he thought, okay, and he was so respectful, when Ati Bhakti Chorer Lakshan. He was so respectful. He was like, Swamiji, मैं आपके लिए discount दे दूंगा, मैं आपके लिए ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा, everything. Prabhupada was okay, as long as the land is a very important land and a very nice piece of land. He thought, at least we have this deed down and we have Radha Rasbihari there. That's why he brought Radha. Prabhupada is over smart. He just did not buy the land. He immediately told the disciples, bring Radha Ras Bihari there. And the disciples are saying, Arey, mandir hi nahi hai. And it's all rat infested and we don't have any place. Prabhupada said, no, Radha Ras Bihari should come into this place. Because he had a doubt that this guy can do anything. But his conviction was, if Radha Ras Bihari come into this land, then it belongs to them. So though the Lord is the universal form, everything belongs to him. But still, that particular piece of land, when the Lord comes and the temple forms, then it is his personal house. So then Prabhupada created another level of master plan. He immediately erected a tent, literally a aluminium roof kind of a tent, and then he brought Radharas Bihari and started worshipping the deities. And disciples were going about it, and this guy kept doing his like he kept his business of cheating. He created so much confusion in everything. He made it in such a way that they could not fulfill the deed. And Srila Prabhupada was in Gujarat, he was visiting Ahmedabad, and then his disciples were here, and they just could not match with the cunningness of this guy. And he is so powerful, and he is like a mayor. He has been an ex-mayor of Mumbai. Can you imagine the amount of political power and the shrewdness that a mayor might have of such a huge city? And the disciples, the American disciples of Prabhupada, they could not keep up with these Indian ways, street smart Indian ways of this guy. So they got so frustrated. What he did was, he bought the lawyer that Prabhupada had hired. He bribed the lawyer that Prabhupada hired. So the lawyer, in the absence of Prabhupada, convinced his Western disciples to actually nullify the deed. He said, you cannot win against this guy, he is very powerful. Just nullify the deed, at least you will just be left with the, like you lost some amount, but that's all it will be. Otherwise you will lose everything. So better just, so he somehow convinced, because the lawyer was bribed by the opposite party, so they did not realize. And Prabhupada is sending, Krishna is inspired, telling Prabhupada this is going to happen. So he is sending, he's calling the temple, nobody is attending, he is sending a telegram, don't at any cost cancel the deed. But Prabhupada had this hunch that this could happen. So he called his disciple Vishaka Devi, who was a photographer at that time. He hand wrote a letter, don't cancel the deed at any cost. And he told, immediately take a train to Bombay and give it to the temple president there. But by the time she arrived and gave the letter, they had just cancelled the deed and they came back. Their heart completely was broken. Like whatever Prabhupada's instruction was, they exactly did opposite. And then they immediately called Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, okay, don't worry, I'll come. I'll handle this. So he gave up all the other engagements and came to Bombay. He sat there and he made sure eventually the temple came to the devotees. He did everything. And eventually this guy actually, he troubled Prabhupada so much. At one point Prabhupada was very troubled. And one day they received the news that Mr. Nair actually died of heart attack. Prabhupada said, Modeta, Sadhurapi Vrishchika Sarpa Hatya. He says, even a saint feels happy when scorpions or snakes are dead. So this guy was like a snake and a scorpion. So Nrsimhadev took care of him. That's what Prabhupada said. So why I am saying this was, like that Srila Prabhupada, he really had this faith that the Supreme Lord, when he comes to this plot of land, then that particular form of the Lord, then he promised, he had a personal faith that here is the Supreme Lord in the form of Radha Ras Bihari, and I have promised, so then that we should commit, fulfill this promise. So he had that faith, these deities are non-different from the Supreme Lord. But Mr. Nair had material consciousness. He was seeing the world through his material eyes. So he was thinking, I will cheat. But he did not understand who's there. He's dealing with that Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So that he finally got cheated. So when we have material consciousness, we measure the world through that material consciousness. But Krishna is saying, therefore, like, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriyai Sevon Mukhe Hi Jihvado Swayameva Spuratyada. Ataha, therefore, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi, the form, the names, the pastimes, and the qualities of Krishna, they are not material. But how do I realize they are spiritual? He says, for that we need to spiritualize. We need to start serving. Serving through the tongue. That is Atana. Swayam eva spuratyadaha. It will naturally be revealed. Spiritual things has to be revealed. But for that, sevon mukhe hi jivadav, the service has to start from the mukha. So what are the two things we can do for through the help of the mouth? What we do on a daily basis, two things that we do with the help of the mouth and the tongue. In general, we speak and we taste. These are the two things. These two things, how can you engage in Krishna service? You can chant the names of Krishna, chant the shlokas, chant the pastimes, and also we can taste Krishna prasadam. If we are committed to these things, like if we, like this is New Year, we all take resolutions. Like usually everybody, like we see a lot of people take a resolution. I will hit the gym twice a week, thrice a week, every day week. After a few weeks, it will be like Netflix. They'll be hitting Netflix button, not like the gym. So people take a lot of resolutions, but it's very hard to keep up. So it's New Year, so we also can recommit ourselves to bhakti. So we can take some like what you call record of our own life and say, okay, can I chant better? These are the two services Krishna is saying. If you commit to these, then I will reveal myself. Everyone wants to see God, but God cannot be seen. God has to be revealed. So he's saying this is the secret to help have that revelation of God. That is to chant his names and to actually take prasad. So Krishna is saying patram pushpam phalam toyam. If you don't have any time, you can at least offer a cup of water to Krishna with sincerity. सच में मेरे पास कुछ भी टाइम नहीं है, हार्डली ऐसा होता है. But still, if you think I have no time today, you can take a cup of water, offer to the deities sincerely, offer the picture of Krishna, and say, today this is all absolute 100% I can give is this, just this cup of water. Please accept this. And then if we take, that is prasad. But hardly any day comes like that. We have little more than that we could do, just than water. So making that and praying to Krishna, that because we get to do so much, sometimes these simple things are like taken for granted. But that very mantra that we chant in the morning, that prasad that bhoga that we offered and accepted as that the prasad that we take, that has all the potency to actually purify us completely. So recommitting ourselves to these two simple practices of chanting. Like how many of you, if you lived in the city, you would say, okay, I have to leave early before the traffic starts. Have you heard this? Before the traffic starts, peak hour starts, because there is now congestion tax also if you ever travel to New York City. So before the peak hour starts, before the traffic starts, I want to leave so that I can go smooth. Similarly for chanting also, before the mind gets the peak hours, everything in the day like job, children, cooking, everything starts congesting our mind, because it's necessary things. Before all the traffic starts, the morning is a time where the traffic is low here. So some or other, if you can make your life in such a way that at least few days a week, if you can wake up early and before all the peak hours starts here, before all the traffic starts here, you can just let Krishna have a smooth freeway. And when the mantra actually flows into our ears and enters the heart, then Dautatma Krishna Purusha Krishna Padamulam na munchati. Krishna says when Krishna's name, holy names enters, it enters through the ears, but it has to go to the heart. When that happens, then the heart gets cleansed. So if we can commit to chanting and taking prasad and commit to that in a sincere way, and getting up early or going to bed early and all these things, if we practice at least few days of a week sincerely, take it seriously and see how I can change my life so that I can chant sincerely, how I can chant attentively, what is stopping me from chanting attentively, can I take care of those things, then naturally Krishna will reveal himself to us. Then we will also be able to see beyond the Virat Rupa. We will also be able to see the personal form of Krishna as Brahmaji is praying. So any questions, any thoughts, any comments, please feel free.
So what was the objective of showing Virat Rupa? I didn't get that.
The objective of showing Virat Rupa is because people with material conditioning is not having that faith and appreciation for the personal form of the Lord. So Krishna is, okay, at least if you see everything as my creation, then the enjoying tendency will gradually go, and will be able to gradually appreciate that, oh, then gradually Krishna can reveal when the heart is purified. The next, then probably they have a devotee association, and there is a chance that they can take to the personal form of the Lord. Or otherwise, at least they can see the connection of Krishna with everything that they are doing.
But in this context, it's all mental, right? It's not a vision. Like
That's what, for Arjuna it was revelation. But this meditation also, because I have to see that the everything in this world is connected to God. So that itself is a powerful meditation. Like I can drink water, but how many times I think this water comes from Krishna? Rasoham apsu kaunteya. It's not that every time I drink water I'm like remembering, oh, this taste is also Krishna. Prabhupada said, to the extreme, he said, even if somebody is drinking something which is not prescribed, like even anything which is not supposed to be drunk, still if he considers this taste of this particular wine is also actually Krishna, he said even that person can get purified. But it's very extreme kind of a thing. But why Prabhupada is mentioning is that consciousness, to connect everything with Krishna, to be aware of Krishna, even through that universal form, that is the seed from which everything can come. It's better than being an atheist. It's better than being seeing things without connection with Krishna, because that is Maya. If we see things without its connection with Krishna, then it becomes external energy. Makes sense?
So where is the Jagad? Like Vishwarupa is what Krishna
Is
but then I know in this text it's mentioned that what is the background?
so Vishwarupa, Viratrupa, there is not much of a difference in one sense. What Krishna showed is a revelation, but actually there is no such form. It is just the material manifestation. He showed it in a condensed way to Krishna, Arjuna, that that's all is the Vishwarupa. Otherwise, it's just the material manifestation. The impersonal energy of the Lord is behind everything. Everything is actually, Krishna says, right, in 9.4 also, that Nachamatstani bhutani pashame yoga maishwaram bhuta brahnacha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavanaha. So, matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avasthatah means matstani sarva bhutani. Everything is situated in Krishna's energy, in the impersonal energy. So, all the material manifestation is coming from him. Mahadadibir. The verses also says Mahadadibir. Everything is coming from Mahatattva. That Mahatattva comes from ultimately from Krishna only.
So but when you asked us the question, what's the difference between Viratrupa and Vishwarupa?
One is revelation, one is meditation.
But then where did the concept of Viratrupa come from? Like where is it mentioned?
That is given by Krishna. He himself is saying Vishwato Mukham. That is a recommended practice for some yogis. It is given. That is where we have this meditation, right? 14 planetary systems. This planetary system is the feet of the Lord. This planetary system is the Peripenitha. So it is already given in the Vedic scriptures actually. And Shukadeva Goswami will explain it in Canto 2, chapter 1 and 2. He will explain it.
And Prabhuji, you mentioned that when we do the practice, Krishna will be revealed. How, like, it's like he reciprocates, is that what you meant? How can this, following that?
It starts with reciprocation, but it does not stop Krishna first personally revealing him to us. Like this pastime of Srila Prabhupada is there, that this devotee did a lot of book distribution. So the temple president said, when Prabhupada comes, you offer garland. So when Prabhupada came, he first offered obeisances before offering garlands. But Prabhupada did not know he has the garland, so he kept walking. So this devotee was walking behind Prabhupada, and there were so many hundreds of devotees, and everybody was pushing him. So he has his garland, he's protecting the garland, he doesn't want to fall on Prabhupada, so he's just pushing everyone. And Prabhupada goes to altar of Rukmini Dwarkadish in Los Angeles temple. This happened. So Prabhupada is closing his eyes, and this devotee is like taller. So he's being pushed, and he doesn't want to fall on Prabhupada. So he just pushes everybody. So when you push like that, your head goes in the front. So Prabhupada's head is there, his head is here like that. And then he is hearing, Prabhupada is closing his eyes. So he's thinking Prabhupada is praying. But Prabhupada asked, he's asking, are they feeding you well? And this devotee is like, Prabhupada is asking question, like are they feeding you well? And he's not hearing anything back. He says, how many times? Next question Prabhupada asks is, how many times? So he's not receiving any, he's not hearing any answer. And then he says, how many times are they dressing? Okay, is everything clean? So he is asking these questions and he is not able to hear any reply. And then Prabhupada turns, so he just puts the garland, and then Prabhupada goes and sits in the altar on the Vyasasana. He says, the first thing he says, if you all continue to take care of Rukmini Dwarkadish like this nicely, you will all go back to Godhead. So there it was Pratyaksha. He is directly asking question and receiving reply from the deities. When the purity is there, it does not stop Krishna from for the deity to basically speak to us. What is the pastime of Sakshi Gopal? He came all the way from Vrindavan to Remuna, not Remuna, Katak. So he came all the way from Katak. So the Lord, personally the Lord came. And the deity is still there, Sakshi Gopal is there. It's just that it takes that level of faith and purity for the Lord to have reciprocation. Radharamanji manifested. From the Shaligram, Radharamanji manifested because it was Gopal Bhatta Goswami's devotion. So when the devotion is there, for Prahlad Maharaj, the Lord manifested from the pillar. So depending on ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. So according to our surrender, accordingly the Lord will reciprocate. It could be through another devotee, it could be in our own heart, it could be in the dream, it could be so many ways. For Madhavendra Puri, the Lord told the Pujari, okay, save this kheer for him. So Madhavendra Puri was touching the feet of the Pujari because you got him in your dream. He didn't come in my dream. You saw the Lord in your dream. He did not come in my dream and say that. So you are more worshipable. He said, no, aapke liye save karne bola. You take it. I am going. So I have nothing to do. So it is again the Lord came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri. And when Madhavendra Puri got the milk pot from Krishna, he felt afterwards so bad. The Lord came and gave me the pot and I could not realize this is Krishna's form. What kind of a devotee I am. So Krishna covered his awareness so that he does not recognize him at that point of time. So the Lord can reveal and conceal according to how he wishes. Nothing, it's not in our ability that he either to reveal or conceal. If he wants, he can reveal himself to anybody. The Pujari may not be the purest of the devotees, but for Madhavendra Puri, that he got that mercy. So it does not stop Krishna. So basically, it is up to our desire. If we have the desire, then Krishna will accordingly. Why do we want Krishna to be revealed?
Increase faith.
Yeah, that's all. That also depends. Why do we want that? Like, you really want love, if you want to serve Krishna, so where it is coming from, yayatama prapadyante, accordingly Krishna can reveal. I'm not sure if I answered your question. Next.
You said that from Shaligram, I don't know.
Okay, now you have something to go and read personally. You read about Radharamanji, how he appeared, what happened. So next time when I come, we can discuss. So there is this whole pastime that how Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he was worshipping many Shalagram Shilas, and he got a lot of jewelry as donation. And he was wondering, "Arey, mere paas to Shila hi hai, ye sab jewelry, how will I put? All the other Goswamis are having forms of you that they can worship." Then the next morning when he came for worship, one of those Shalagram Shilas, Damodar Shila, he just transformed into Radharamanji. And out of all deities, it is Radharamanji who stayed in Vrindavan. And all the other deities that left to Jaipur, it was Radharamanji always stayed in Vrindavan. Anybody else? I think we are already...
There are some online devotees who has questions.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna.
Bhagavatam set also is Virat.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Vatsala here. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Different volumes of Bhagavatam,
Okay.
different parts of the.
Yeah, it is mentioned in that one verse where like Pada means the first canto is the lotus feet and like that. So it is not Virat Rupa, it is to show that how Bhagavatam is non-different from the Lord. In that sense.
Go ahead,
Hare Krishna
Vatsala.
Prabhu. Vatsala here. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All
Eppadi
glories to
irukeenga?
Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question because this verse explains this is for the actual neophyte. It's a material form. People who don't understand Krishna. So what I think in the 10th chapter, what Arjuna sees is his big, Vishwarupa. So I have a question. What is the difference? I didn't see this before, but now we are reading it. I see it. Why is this two different? For one for beginner and one for the advanced devotee like Arjuna. And you said it is through meditation process. I didn't get it. Please explain. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, nice to hear you. Uh, there is actually not like what Krishna showed to Arjuna and what is being discussed, or what is the universal form meditation that is prescribed in the scriptures. It is like the difference is just that one is the process, the other one is the result. So here, this person who's a neophyte has to sit and meditate forcefully that okay, the mountains are all the main. So he has to create that form in his mind imaginarily. However, for Arjuna, the advantage was Krishna just showed it literally. They are not different, but one is a meditation, the other one is a revelation. So revelation is much easier. It is being shown to Arjuna. He does not have to assume that those are things. It's really in his vision. In that sense, there is no difference actually. They are all Virat Rupa, and it's not that Virat Rupa is different for advanced yogi or a neophyte yogi. It's just a process. Like holy name is the same where for a new devotee or an advanced devotee, just the realizations are different. Similarly, for an advanced yogi, the realization would be like gradually his heart would be purified. He will start meditating on the Paramatma or take to bhakti. Depends. You will discuss that when it comes to Canto 2. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. There is essentially no difference between the universal form that is we are asked to meditate, that the yogi is asked to meditate, and the universal form that showed to Arjuna. It just one is a revelation, the other one is a meditation, is a process. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. I didn't get it. I thought it is for beginners. They don't want to believe in God or the magnanimity of the God. So he
Okay.
probably is doing it to make sure that they believe in him. For
Yes.
advanced devotee like Arjuna, who has some kind of a depth of knowledge and who is a friend of Krishna, and he has probably gotten the eyesight, that to see God, because even though you may see God, but you may not realize it is God. So I think that was the difference I felt. But
Okay, the
he said,
reason that he shows to Arjuna is not because he is an advanced devotee. It is to show as a proof that to the world that how he's not just saying I am out of Himalaya, like among all mountains I'm Himalayas, I'm all there among the aquatics, I'm shark, like that. He's just saying I'm the best, I'm the best. But to actually prove it, in that sense, he is showing the universal form to Arjuna. Not because Arjuna is a not advanced devotee or anything.
okay, yeah,
And
thank you,
here
Prabhu.
there is a difference. This is yoga. This is a separate sadhana. We are all practicing bhakti yoga. Our sadhana is completely different. But here we are speaking about some yogis who are not into bhakti yoga and who don't have personal appreciation for the personal form of the Lord. For them, the sadhana is that meditation of the universal form.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Prabhu. Thanks for your
you.
explanation. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay.
So,
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
thank you everyone. Hare
It was
Krishna.
very
Jai Srila
wonderful.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Thank you. Big round of applause, please. Also, Prabhuji is available. Actually, he's going to stay with us. He's available today and tomorrow. Tomorrow at the temple, ISKCON Philadelphia, he's giving Sunday feast class. So if you are interested, please join. At 5:20 is the class. He'll be speaking a general topic or Bhagavad Gita. So you can join. So today, also, I would like to notify that coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday If you know His Grace Adigadadar Prabhu, anyone know him? Adigadadar Prabhu? Okay. So he's coming to a nearby city, Baltimore, which is about 2 hours drive from here. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is available. He's giving classes. So I have the details. If you are interested, please contact me. Um, yes, we can talk. No, he's not coming to this center, but Baltimore. So I'm going to request him on behalf of all of you. He will definitely come very soon. He had already committed last year that he's going to come to this center. So somewhere in the month of April, May, he might come. Just tentatively. Okay. So now we'll have kids session. Okay. And any? Oh yeah, Prabhupada quote for the day. Who is reading, reciting? And don't forget to take Vrindavan soil, Vrindavan dust is there. And also there is Tirupati Laddu. Don't forget to take that.
29th December. Bhishma Dev was a military man, so he was pleased to see Krishna in military spirit. As much as the gopis wanted to see Krishna as the most beautiful lover. Krishna can be loved in any feature, and because he is the absolute, there is no difference to love Krishna as a military man or as a simple gopi. Letter to Jadurani, December 29th, 1967. 30th December. There is a proverb in Bengali that one person wanted to see how many thieves are there in this village. And when he began to scrutinize, he saw that everyone is a thief. Similarly, in this world, you can go to anyone. They are all envious of God. Los Angeles, December 30th, 1968. 31st December. In Vrindavan, everyone is overwhelmed with the love of Krishna. When they cannot find Krishna, they become mad. Although they do not know that Krishna is God, this is pure love. Without any knowledge of the Supreme Powerful Almighty, no contamination, pure love. Bombay, December 31st, 1974. January 1st. In the beginning, there are many failures. That is quite natural. Just as a child is trying to stand, he may fall down. But that does not mean he should give up the idea. Go on. A time will come when he will be perfect. A time will come when you'll be perfect, Krishna conscious. Los Angeles, January 1st, 1969. 2nd January. Krishna's offering by his descent that if you want to enjoy like this in the society of beautiful young boys and girls, come to me. Here it is, reality. Los Angeles, January 2nd, 1974. 3rd January. It is not only in India, all over the world. There cannot be peace unless you reform the whole social structure, and that can be done only by this Krishna consciousness. Surat, January 3rd, 1971. January 4th. When one becomes Krishna conscious, he loves everyone. If you chant loudly Hare Krishna, even the ants and insects who is hearing, he will be delivered, because it is spiritual vibration. Bombay, January 4th, 1973.
Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. So these are the daily Srila Prabhupada quotes. You get it in our Bensalem Bhakti Vriksha group. So please read it attentively because it has a lot of meaning. And she decided for a whole week. So now it's kids session. Come on.
जन्मकर्म च मे दिव्यम् एव यो वेति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नयति मामेति. So Arjuna, one who knows my transcendental nature of my um, appearance and activities, but doesn't, upon leaving this body, doesn't come, doesn't take birth again in this material world, but attains my abode, O Arjuna.
Jama karma च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेति तत्वता tatva teham pranajama neti mameti soarjunam. So if you understand Krishna, you don't take birth in this material world, you go to his abode.
Very good.
जन्म कर्म च वैविध्यम एवं यो विदितः तक्तदेयं पुनर्जन्म नैति मां प्रतिसर्जरा. Everyone in this material world is keep on taking births, janma, and if you take shelter under Krishna and follow his instructions and his devotees' instructions, you can go to the Janma karma cha me divyam evam yodi tattva tattva deham puranjanma neti mamiti sojana. One who knows my transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, leaving this body, take the birth again in this material world and attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vedi tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam veti tattva takta deham punarjanma naiti mam eti sai Arjuna. This sloka means that if you understand Krishna, you will take birth on this material world and you will go to Krishna's abode.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tyatva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. The translation for this shloka is, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattva tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattva tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who understands the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving this body, take birth again in this material world, but instead comes to my eternal abode. Watch.
A big Haribol to all the kids. Thank you, Prabhu again. As Prabhuji was mentioning about resolution, I think we all have to take resolutions, right? Internally. That if you are chanting one round, please chant two. Chanting two, chant four. At least increase. So that's our resolution. Thank you. So finally, Prasada. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नाम ब्रह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्पपुण्यावतं राजन् विश्वासो नैव जायते शरीराविद्याजा जडेन्द्रियता है का जीवफले विषयसागरे तारामते जिह्वहति लुब्धमाय सुदुर्मति ताके जटा कठिन संसारे कृष्णा परोदयमय परिवार जीव जय स्वप्रसाद नदिलो भाई ये नाम पाओ श्री राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमड़ा को चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधा कृष्ण महाप्रसादम की जय शील प्रभुपाद की जय थैंक यू एवरीवन थैंक यू ऑनलाइन डिवोटीज हरि बोल also welcome back to our good friend Saujanya Mataji, Ashok Prabhu and Prajna. After a long time I'm seeing.
Today, the first 29 December which she read, Prabhupada's quote, is so relevant to what Prabhuji said. Like in whatever form you meditate upon.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Vishwadev was a military man, so he was pleased to see Krishna in military spirit. As much as the gopis wanted to see Krishna as the most beautiful lover. Krishna can be loved in any feature, and because he is absolute, there is no difference to love Krishna as a military man or as a simple gopi. So like how I don't know.
Very relevant.
Right?
Thank you, Mataji.